has to say about him and his methods of attack. He's hit some of you so hard in the last year or two. He's hit you so hard that it's hard for you to get up out of your seat and to make it through. He's hit you so hard by taking loved ones from you. He's trying to somehow get into your life to make you so discouraged that you walk away from God, that you get so angry at God that you don't think that you want to know God anymore. He attacks our children. He attacks us personally. He attacks our marriages. He attacks our health. He attacks the good friendships that we have. He attacks the church. He's just waiting to take us down. And when you've got that calling on your life, when you know that God has called you for specific things to do, that's when He really zeroes in. That's when He really comes at us. And we have to stand our ground. We have to know that God is bigger than the enemy. Amen. When we repent and make a clean break with the world, a long-held sin pattern, or an ungodly relationship that we've been in, this is a biggie. And you've not been living a Christian life, and you've fallen into some type of sin or relationship that is leading you away from Christ. You make the decision to turn away from whatever it is that has been holding you back. From that relationship, you find yourself under attack. Satan doesn't want to let go of you just because you become a Christian. He thinks he has you in his grasp, and he doesn't think you will ever turn your life around. Now that God is doing a good work in our lives, He starts throwing doubts into our mind, like, I can never go through this. I'm sure I'm going to fail. Or He makes you question your worthiness before God, and you begin to think thoughts like, God will never take me back. I've blown it too badly. This is one of the things the enemy does best. He makes us believe the lie that God doesn't want us anymore, that we're no good, that we're unacceptable to God. But that's Satan's lie, and we know that he is the father of lies. Of course, nothing can be further from the truth. And like the prodigal son, we know that there is never a time when God will not welcome us back with open arms. When we come in sincerity of heart, God's arms are open wide, and He tells us how much He loves us. He's not standing there with a big stick. He's not standing there ready to condemn. He's ready to open His arms and welcome you to come into Him. When God is preparing us for a great work for His glory, every time an individual or a church is called by God to do a great work for God, Satan will go on the attack. In the church, he will try to split it. He will cause its members to start whispering and talking about one another. He will cause some kind of divisions to bring that church down. Because his only aim is to destroy it. His only aim is to destroy the church. If he destroys it, those people, the majority of them, will go out the door and maybe never darken a church door again. They will go out angry and frustrated, and they will not want to connect anymore with any kind of church people. That's what he's trying to do with the church today. And sometimes he wins. Sometimes people hear his message, and they take it literally, and they believe him. And then he's whipping and he's using them. And he's using all of his tactics to pull those people down. He'll work on, if he can't get the elders, he'll work on the pastor. If he can't get the pastor, he'll work on those that serve, like in the ushers. If he can't get the ushers, he will go to the youth. But he's looking for an inroad to get in so that he can take you down. And he's so vicious and he hates you so much that that's all he's geared to do. When you turn around and give your life to Jesus, be sure he's going to be right behind you trying to find a way to take you down. Think about what I'm talking about this morning because it's very important. You begin praying and studying about where God could use you. You start looking into some education to help prepare you to do this work. And the next thing you know, things start going wrong for you. And you start doubting the call. And you begin to wonder if you really have what it takes after all. That's him planting those seeds into your mind. God has called you. He wants to use you. He wants to raise you up. He's got something powerful for you to do. But the enemy doesn't want to hear that. He just wants to stop you in your tracks. Or a church like ours begins to sense that God is calling us to grow and win more people to Christ, and to even plant churches for His glory. And all of a sudden, people begin to wonder if God can really do the things through us that He's calling us to do. Yes, He can. But the enemy will tell you, no, you can't. Or they become complacent and watch others around them doing all the work. Or they start to drop out because, for whatever reason, they don't see themselves being a part of the great work of God anymore. These are all satanic attacks that we need to be aware of. In fact, I doubt that anyone here is a church follower, has never experienced at least one of these types of things in their Christian walk at one time or another. Satan wants to take down the home. He wants to divide the family. If he can't get at the parents, if the parents are strong Christians, if they're living for Jesus and loving God, and they're in their prayer closet, and they're reading their Bible, and they're walking by faith, he's saying, okay, I can't get at them. Let me go see which child I can get to and touch and turn that child away from God. And so he'll work on that child until he gets that child out in the world. And he continues to draw them away. And he gets them involved in all kinds of, maybe it's pornography, maybe it's drugs, maybe it's robbing and stealing, but whatever it is, he's going to take that child and he's going to use that child for his own good. And if you grow up and you're coming up in a family and your children, you're trying to train them up right, and all of a sudden you get these children that want to rebel. They don't want to hear what you have to say. And they push you back and walls go up. And when I mean walls, they're like brick walls. And you can't filter it. You can't knock that wall down without the power of God. And the walls go up, and you're trying to talk to these children, and they're like they're in another world. Their mind is shut down. Satan has covered their mind. He has taken their mind. And they don't hear the parent anymore. They're somewhere else. They're going on their own way. And you can't get to them unless you fast, unless you pray. And you've got to do a lot of fasting and praying to break those powers of darkness off of our children. Sometimes they go out in the world and they're there for years. And yet you continue to pray and you believe God that He is able to take and bring them back, to bring them back into their borders. When I talk about borders, I talk about places that God has set around us, protections around each and every one of us. We step outside of those borders. Many times we do. We get outside of what He's placed there for us. And we think that we're okay, that we can handle it. And just when we step outside, the enemy is there ready to grab us. He said, I got your number, I got your name, and I'm going to take you down. I'm going to destroy you. The borders are there for protection. But we get in a rebellious place and we think, oh no, I don't need that. I can handle it. I'm a Christian. I've got my Bible. I read it every day. I pray. And we just keep stepping outside of those borders. And before you know it, you've gone so far that when you want to come back, you can't. You can't come back. Because the enemy's got you scared. And every time you try to come back, he's pulling on that snare. He's pulling you back. And then you look up one day and you say, how did I get here? How did I get to this place in my life? I remember I was talking to a lady years ago, and she had allowed the enemy to take her to places. She was on drugs, she got into lesbianism, she got into everything you could name. She went to the extreme place. Trying to talk to her was like talking to the wall. And she was out there for years. And she did it all. She did everything. And yet we prayed for her, we prayed for her, and we prayed for her. And one day, God turned her life around. When she woke up in that motel room and she said, how did I get here? She ended up going into mental institutions for a while. That's the enemy. He was trying to destroy her. He was trying to take her away. And that's what he'll do. Young people, listen to me today. The out to get you. He's out to get you. And he doesn't care who you are or how big and strong you think you are. He's got your name and your number. And he's looking for a way to take you down. You can play with God all you want. You can pretend to be something that you're not, but he knows you. He knows you. And he will have a field day with you. He's a real enemy. He's real. So don't let anybody ever tell you that he's not real. But there is a God in heaven that loves you so much that he reached out his hand to you and is letting you know that if you give your heart to Christ, if you give your heart to the Lord, Jesus is ready and willing to help you and set you free and bring you out of that dark place and into the light. That's what God has done for us. In every battle, you will need faith as your shield to stop the fiery arrows aimed at you by Satan. When you put on salvation as your helmet and you take the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God, here we find 3 more weapons God has placed at our disposal. We'll be looking at the last weapon next Sunday, which is the weapon of prayer. But today it is with the shield of faith. And in every battle we will need as faith as our shield to stop the fiery arrows aimed against Satan. In the New Testament there are 2 different words for shield. One is a small circular shield, shaped like a trash can lid. The other is long and rectangular shield, and it is taken from the word used for a large door, which is shaped like that of a door, like a large, kind of like this, comes down. This large door-shaped shield is what Paul is referring to here. A properly trained Roman soldier could use this shield so that no part of his body could be reached by the missiles of the enemy. It protected him completely. When he put that shield up, the enemy could not get him in any way. He was totally, completely covered. This is the kind of faith that Paul was talking about when he referred to the shield. When we are doing battle with Satan, church, the moment we begin to cause him any trouble, we are guaranteed that he is going to launch a counterattack. He will attack our minds, he will attack our hearts, he will attack our bodies, our finances. So we need to have a shield that covers us entirely. He will attack us at any point he can reach, which is the point that we are most vulnerable. If fear is controlling you, he will use it. He will use that to attack you. If you are an angry person, he will use that to attack you. Whatever it is, he will take it and turn your life around and put you on the run. He can't attack us. If he can't attack us, he will attack those that are closest to us, like our spouse or children. We must have that shield that is big enough to protect everything for which God has made us responsible, including ourselves, our family, and everything God has commanded to us, or committed to us. These fiery darts of the wicked one come fast, and they come furiously, and they are going to continue to come. The only thing that will back them down is the shield of faith. And the shield of faith is built and strengthened the more that we place our whole trust in the power of God. Sometimes I have questions that I don't get answers to. Sometimes things don't go the way I think that they should. Sometimes people get sick and they die. And I don't want them to. But in every case, I have ultimately placed my faith in God. With the helmet of salvation, put on salvation as your helmet. Here we find protection for our minds. The helmet protects the head from the enemy. And I recognize that God appeals to our heart, but God also appeals to our intellect. And throughout Scriptures, God uses reason with man. Come now, let us argue this out, says the Lord. No matter how deep the stain of your sins, I can remove it. And I can make you as clean as freshly fallen snow. Even if you are stained as red as crimson, I can make you as